Deep within the heart of North America, beneath vast Illinois cornfields, lies extraordinary evidence of a significant discovery that few learn about in school. This hidden site reveals a true metropolis, not merely a village or settlement, which once rivaled medieval Europe's greatest urban centers. Around the year 1100, as London and Paris began their rise, a city of 20,000 people thrived along the Mississippi River floodplain. Its name was Cahokia, and it commanded a vast empire, a significant historical fact most Americans have regrettably never heard of. At the center of this ancient metropolis stood Monk's Mound, a monumental pyramid built entirely of packed earth, its base covering 14 acres. Comparable in footprint to the Great Pyramid of Giza, this immense monument was remarkably erected without any metal tools, wheels, or beasts of burden. The builders carried basket after basket of soil, meticulously layering it, creating a colossal structure that continues to dominate the landscape today. From its summit, 40-year-old male Cahokian rulers with feathered headdresses looked down upon a city stretching for miles, connected by plazas and carefully planned causeways. This was truly the heart of Mississippian culture, a magnificent civilization that flourished between 900 and 1350 in the Common Era. Cahokia was not just large, it was remarkably sophisticated, challenging everything we thought we knew about pre-Columbian North America. The sprawling city covered over 6 square miles, encompassing 120 earthen mounds of various sizes and purposes. These mounds served diverse purposes: platforms for elite residences, sacred burial sites, markers for astronomical events, and foundations for administrative buildings. Cahokia's profound influence reached far beyond its immediate borders, as archaeological evidence reveals a vast trade network spanning the entire continent. Exotic materials arrived from thousands of miles away. For instance, gleaming copper from the distant Great Lakes region flowed southward into the city's workshops. From the distant Gulf Coast came beautiful shells, transformed into intricate ornaments and sacred ritual objects by skilled Cahokian artisans. Mica from the Appalachian Mountains arrived in translucent sheets, carved into elaborate shapes for important burials and vital ceremonies. Within the city's boundaries, archaeologists discovered something truly remarkable: the only known copper workshop in the entire Mississippian world. Here, skilled artisans hammered raw copper into tools, ornaments, and symbols of power, mastering techniques that required tremendous knowledge. This high level of specialization meant Cahokia had moved far beyond mere subsistence living, supporting full-time craftspeople and dedicated administrators. This showed a complex hierarchical society with sophisticated economic organization and division of labor, a truth that Western scholars long refused to acknowledge. For decades, archaeologists dismissed the idea that Native Americans could have built such a city, attributing the mounds to lost tribes or Vikings. This stubborn denial wasn't actually about a lack of evidence. Instead, it was fundamentally about a profound refusal to truly see. The vast central plaza of Cahokia covered roughly 50 acres, remarkably larger than 35 football fields, hosting thousands for various gatherings. Wooden posts carefully marked astronomical alignments, creating what archaeologists now call an American wood hinge, a precise calendar built from cedar logs. These circles of posts precisely tracked solstices and equinoxes, clearly demonstrating advanced astronomical knowledge held by the Cahokians. On specific days, the sun rose directly over certain posts when viewed from the center, allowing priests to mark seasons and coordinate agricultural cycles. The city's farmers cultivated vast fields of corn, beans, and squash, the three sisters forming the nutritional foundation of Mississippian culture. Surplus harvests fed the growing urban population and created vital economic stability, enabling monumental construction projects and extensive long-distance trade. But success inevitably brought challenges. As Cahokia grew, so too did its insatiable appetite for crucial natural resources. The surrounding forests fell to axes of stone and copper. They would feeding cooking fires and fueling vast construction projects. By the early 1200s, environmental pressures began significantly mounting. Deforestation changed local climate patterns and reduced vital game populations. Erosion increased severely as tree roots no longer held soil in place, causing the very landscape that sustained Cahokia to shift. Archaeological excavations reveal that around 1200, the city's leaders ordered construction of a massive wooden palisade wall. 2 miles long, studded with watchtowers and bastions, this formidable fortification surrounded the central precinct, implying Cahokia felt gravely threatened. Was the threat external enemies, or perhaps destructive internal unrest? The massive wall was rebuilt multiple times, each iteration requiring thousands of logs. This defensive architecture suggests growing instability from rival groups challenging dominance, or from internal social tensions as resources became scarce. Climate records show that during the 1300s, the region experienced significant, increasingly unpredictable fluctuations, with droughts alternating with severe flooding. Such devastating crop failures would have struck at the very foundation of Cahokia's power, severely undermining the ruler's crucial ability to feed their population. As agricultural productivity seriously declined, the vast trade networks that sustained Cahokia's prestige began to fray and slowly unravel. Without surplus corn to exchange, the flow of copper, shells, and mica slowed dramatically. The city's once vibrant workshops then fell silent. Political authority in Cahokia rested on the ruler's ability to ensure prosperity, mediate with the gods, and guarantee a successful harvest. When crops failed repeatedly, that sacred divine mandate eroded, causing people to question if elites atop Mound truly controlled claimed forces. Evidence suggests population decline happened gradually, then accelerated, as families left outer neighborhoods first for smaller settlements. Then the skilled craftsmen departed. Finally, even the elite residences atop the grand mound tops were abandoned, left to the elements. Historians still debate which crisis struck first: deforestation, climate change, flooding, devastating crop failure, or political collapse. Most likely, they formed a vicious cycle, each problem amplifying the others until the entire system became utterly unsustainable. What remains certain is this: by 1350, Cahokia was utterly empty. The once vibrant plazas stood silent. The workshops produced nothing, trade routes rerouted, and this great Mississippi city became a silent ghost town, its mound slowly sinking back into the earth. And then something even stranger happened. The great city was completely forgotten, its entire history fading into the mists of time. When European explorers arrived centuries later, local tribes held no memory of who built these mounds or why they were abandoned. Here's where the mystery deepens disturbingly. When French monks settled on the largest mound in the early 1800s, they had no idea. They genuinely believed these earthworks were natural hills, simply shaped by wind and time, not monumental products of ancient human ambition. Even when archaeologists began excavating in the late 19th century, many refused to believe indigenous Americans built something so sophisticated. They proposed elaborate theories about lost tribes from Europe, about Vikings, about anyone except the true indigenous ancestors. It took decades of compelling evidence to overcome that persistent prejudice. Mass graves revealing elaborate burial ceremonies, the copper workshop with advanced tools, and artifacts proving trade connections spanning 2,000 miles, made the truth undeniable. Today, most Americans drive past Cahokia without knowing it exists, sitting just outside St. Louis, surrounded by modern highways and suburbs. This UNESCO World Heritage Site receives a mere fraction of visitors compared to lesser ruins, the greatest pre-Columbian city hiding in plain sight. So why did it fall? The cumulative evidence points towards a cascade of interlocking catastrophes. Deforestation stripped hills bare, destabilizing soil. This triggered massive floods that swept through the city, while rebuilt palisade walls suggest growing conflict and paranoia about collapse. Climate records show a prolonged drought struck the region in the 1300s, devastating the maize crops that fed 20,000 people. When the harvests failed, the social contract holding Cahokia together shattered. People began to leave, slowly then in waves. But which crisis came first? Did environmental collapse trigger political breakdown, or did internal conflicts weaken the civilization's response? Historians still debate the precise sequence, because the people of Cahokia left absolutely no written records to tell us their story. What we know for certain is that by 1350, the Grand Plaza stood completely empty, silent, and abandoned. The great mounds were reclaimed by nature, copper workshops fell silent, the trade networks rerouted around its ghost, seeking new power centers. And then came the profound forgetting. When De Soto explored the Mississippi Valley in the 1540s, no one remembered the builders. The collective memory had been tragically erased, perhaps deliberately, or simply lost in the overwhelming chaos. That historical erasure continued for centuries. American history textbooks barely mention Cahokia, if they acknowledge it at all. We teach students about ancient Rome and Athens, but not about the grand city that rivaled medieval Paris right here. Acknowledging Cahokia means recognizing sophisticated urban civilization existed in North America long before any European contact. It means recognizing indigenous peoples built monuments comparable to the pyramids, sustained complex economies, and shaped the landscape. Monk's Mound still rises majestically above the Illinois floodplain, 100 feet of packed earth, patiently waiting to tell its story. Cahokia fell, but the deeper question isn't solely why it collapsed. It's why we consciously chose to forget it ever stood at all.